Now we're gonna go to the cleanup DirectX function. Create a for loop since it's an array. Max textures ++ I. And say if m texture. I don't know why I keep saying sh. And saying if the texture is being used, call the m texture I dot texture and call it release, which will release that texture. And outside of that, you say if m sprite is being used, and then release that sprite as well. And do the same thing for the object. And lastly, the same thing for the device. And this will basically just release everything that it's being used. So when it closes, everything will be clean. Alright, that's it for the clean up DirectX. The next will be the create sprite, and that's type bool. Create sprite. It's gonna be really small, but call it the H result of HR, and set that to D3D create sprite. I called it right. Create sprite was D3DX sprite, and you can pass in the device and the reference of the sprite. And if that fails, in all capitals, remember. If that fails, then you just return false. Else, just return true. And that's it for that create sprite. For the begin scene, we'll see right now. Manager, begin scene. I'll explain it after everything's being written down. Calling the each result. HR equals the M D3D device. You clear it. You have to clear the screen or the back buffer, I think it is. Set the first one to 0, the second one to null. The third one will be D3D clear target. Third one is D3D color, and it'd be XRGB. Let's set that to 0, 0, and 0. The Z buffer is going to be 1, and the other one is going to be 0. If that fails, HR, oh, you know what? Oh no, wait, hold on. It's not actually a boolean. I messed up right there. It's an H result. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. Sorry about that. It's H result. If that fails, return -1. Negative meaning that there's nothing in there. But if it doesn't fail, then set the HR to equals to the MD3D device to begin the scene, and return the HR. So basically, in this function begin scene, before you start calling the start scene or whatever, we'll go through the start scene after this one. It's gonna create the screen, the window, and if it doesn't fail, then just start beginning the screen. And if it does begin the screen, then you'll start the screen, which I'll call right now. It's gonna be void. Oh yes, it's void DX manager start scene, which we'll call the M sprite. To begin, and you just call the D3DX sprite alpha blend, and that's it for the start scene. There's no point in creating a beginning the sprite if the begin scene fails. So that's why we do the begin scene first, and then we do the sprite begin. That's why we have two different we have separate functions for those. But there's different ways to do it. I'm doing it this way. So you want to do it a different way, then go ahead. But either way, it should work. And for the end scene, you're just gonna call the M sprite and the M device, you call it end scene, and the MD3D device present, and set all of them to null. And that's it for that. Let's see how much time do we have right now. We have 24 minutes? Jesus. You see how many? We have still a long way to go. So I'll end this right here, and we're gonna create a different part. So I'll see you guys in the next one.